Right kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
A pleasant good evening. Happy New Year, and we welcome you inside Thayer Arena in Warwick, Rhode Island. It's another edition of high school boys ice hockey between Warwick Co-op and the LaSalle Academy Rams. Matt Jolis in the broadcast booth with you this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you might be, around the ocean state, around the region, around the country, as we kick off the 2023 side of the season. And if you would have said at the beginning of the year that we would be talking about Warwick LaSalle and a number 1 versus number 2 matchup between these two sides, I might have scratched my head and said it was a little bit silly. Warwick is a team that had 1 win all of last season. They find themselves now sitting 1 win from sole possession of first place in the Division 1. They beat Hendricken in emphatic fashion last week 5-2. And now they have to take on the LaSalle Academy Rams. And if they somehow come out of this game victorious, they have bragging rights. Cam Tasca, along with Ronan Peterson and Drew Bradley, will be the front left wing, center, right wing. We'll go with Tyler Garofalo and Marcello Martinelli on right defense, with Caleb Georgian in net. 5 games on the season for Georgian, an 8.0 goals against average, a 94% save percentage. For Warwick, as they go with Ethan Pizzulo and the 7 of Gerard Schiaffino up top, along with the 3 of Charlie Clements. In defense, they'll go with Richie Kavanaugh and the 17 of Ryan Barlow, with Braxton Bragg in net. And Braxton Bragg has been an absolute sensation and we will take a pause for the playing of the national anthem. Warwick in the white with the black and red trim. LaSalle in a brand new road jersey, an all maroon with white trim and the LaSalle letters a la New York Rangers style going into the diagonal across the chest. We'll put 15 minutes on the board. We'll play the first 2 periods. Then they'll cut the ice and we'll play the 3rd period. And then we'll do it all over again in about half an hour after this one ends. As the Bishop Hendricken Hawks and the East Greenwich Avengers will take the ice. Face-off scheduled to be around about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Barring how this game goes. Warwick is ready to go. The 9 of Richie Kavanaugh standing ready. 9 versus 8 as Ronan Peterson takes the face-off, wins it for the Rams, and we're underway. Tonight's first period action on Fans Only Sports Network, brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit Joseph Lammy, LAMY.com, and by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com. Delayed offsides as it was cleared down by Kavanaugh. Along the sideboards goes Drew Bradley. Bradley taken down, arm goes up, and Warwick will find themselves in the penalty box quickly as 2 minutes per tripping is assessed to Gerard Shapino. Drew Bradley, a junior from Attleboro, Massachusetts, 5 games on the season, 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points. As they set up this first power play. And it's the 9 of Mark Fratashi. As he works that one to the corner for Tyler Garofalo. Garofalo into the corner for Peterson. Peterson bodied to the boards there by the 25 of Chris Shapino. Back in the corner once again, held, and then back out for Fratashi. Tried to slot that one across, and it hit off of somebody's stick. And up into the netting. We'll get a stoppage of play and a face-off that will come down to the right side of Braxton Bragg. Braxton Bragg in his junior season. Really a coming out party for him this year. Has stepped up his level. We thought he was phenomenal last season. Really seen him go to another level this year. As this one will kick off the sideboards and come all the way down. Opportunity for Warwick to try to clear the zone. They do not. Drew Bradley picks that one up instead. Cross for Fratashi as Fratashi holds. Back in the corner once again. And trying to work for it along the sideboards. And they got it in! Where in the world that took a wicked hop out of. But it lands onto the stick of Bradley. And the big man has his 6th of the season. A power play goal for Bradley. And it puts the Rams on the board 1-0. Not even 2 into this game. Chasing it is Clements. Round the backside as it's moved along by Barlow. Barlow brought it back for Clements right on Jaharjian. And he makes the save as it kicks all the way back out through the neutral zone. Trying to craftfully move was the 26 of Evan Barbosa. To the blue line, Barbosa, as he got that one, which came in from Paul Bogosian. The opposite, number 4, is Ethan Pizzulo as he carries out across, and it's popped up, and a high stick is played. With contact and going to the box will be the 26 of Barbosa. 2 minutes for high sticking. And so it's going to put Warwick on the power play for the first time this evening. 12:42 left to go here in the first. Pickering sends that one across, and it came right off of the edge of the stick of Brady Martin. Martin behind the net has it bounce off of the boards around once again, where it's picked up and shepherded all the way down the ice. As Bertashi and Peterson continue to patrol that back line as they work along with the 5 of Devin Mora in the corner there. Mora dispossesses, but Mulaney picks it up and carries through. Sean Mulaney hit that one into traffic as he was looking to try to get it across to Brady Martin. Puck pops all the way down. Warwick's going to move this one as a line change opportunity. They horseshoe it all the way around. Picked up and carried by Cooper Grosketh into the glove. And Georgian makes the save. So faceoff comes up on the right-hand side. A minute left to go in the advantage as we play with 11.5 left to go here in the first. Hard shot that came off of the backside boards. Came right back for an opportunity for Charlie Clements. Couldn't put it home. Back in the corner, Barlow trying to see if he can pull that one out. Gets bumped aside. Charlie Clements picks it up. Up top for Pizzulo. Pizzulo traffic in the body of the big man, Drew Bradley. And Mountain Drew sends it all the way down the ice. Barlow delayed off sides, and that one will be called as it bounced around, but no one else from LaSalle had full control, and Warwick did not exit the zone. Games in action around the Ocean State this evening. Moses Brown Cumberland underway from Meehan Auditorium in Brown University. Our game here is game 3 on the evening. Mount St. Charles, North Kingstown. Earlier tonight, that game was 5-1 Mount in the third. We'll get a final score for you as we go about. Later on, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Burrville and Barrington. And then the nightcap is our second game here from Thayer as Bishop Hendrick and Hawks take on the East Greenwich Avengers. Pinned to the backside boards is Shafino. Penalties have expired. We play 5-a-side hockey. Carried out of the zone and craftily moved off the side boards by Daniel Kennedy. Kennedy tries to continue to push through as he was working with Barlow. He got bodied out. Line change goes for Warwick. Dumped down into the corner. It'll get chased by Mora. Mora picks that one up as he horseshoes it all the way around, looking for Seamus Murphy. Murphy continued it across ice, and it deflected off of the penalty box door, is instead landing on the stick of Mulaney. Full line change completed now for Warwick as the 11 of Lucas Heyman works with it. Got picked back up right in the center, and Bragg's going to snag that one in the bread basket on the wrist flick from Robbie Natali. So faceoff will come to Braxton Bragg's right. Can be won by Bowden Tomka. Tomka tried to send that one around. 10 versus 10 there as Jacob Pickering bodied him out of the play. And then Pickering runs to the backside and pushes Natali all the way out into the neutral zone. Big hit is going down to the ice. Was Mulaney as he tried to come across. And on the backside corner, the 19 of Cooper Grosketh having issue with the 15 of Marcello Martinelli. To the boards goes the 24 of Matt Franco, and it gets carried out instead by Warwick. That one was popped up aerial style and then finally fell down inside of the LaSalle defensive zone. Bumped all the way back for Schifino as LaSalle goes for a line change as well to get fresh 5 on the ice. Chasing it into the corner was Kavanaugh. It bounced up over top of Pizzulo at the blue line, and they have to chase it back. Bradley runs into the 7 of George Schifino. And the puck out of play gets a stoppage of play. And Schifino wanted an interference call on the play and didn't get it from the referees. Face-off down in front of the LaSalle net as it's worked along the side boards. Popped back defensively, chased by Clements. Trying to exit the zone. He's dispossessed, and it's taken by Peterson. Peterson along the side boards. Popped back instead for McIntyre. Barlow picks this one up. Barlow streaking back, and Peterson got back there on a formidable back check to dispossess. Behind Georgian as it's picked up instead by Bogosian. Bogosian sent that one all the way up. And through the neutral zone, it's Peterson to Bradley, and then Bradley knocked off of the puck by Schifino. That's Chris Schifino, and that deflection goes up into the ceiling. We get our first roof tap of the evening and a stoppage of play. 7:25 left to go. Tonight's first period on Fans Only Sports Network brought to you by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RR Elite Recruits. And by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlamy.com. Not entirely sure what the referees are talking with the LaSalle players about. Face-off clearly evident where it should go, directly underneath where it hit the ceiling. As it came off of a LaSalle stick in the process of it. Devin Mora, as he sends that one around, looking for Vinny Healy. Healy down to the corner. Healy ran into the corner and then dispossessed of the puck for a brief moment. A rugby scrum occurs now, and it's finally kicked out of the way. Matt Baxter, the 17 for the Rams. But then it's picked and carried by Cooper Grosketh. Grosketh tried to horseshoe that one around, looking for Sean Mullaney on the opposite side. Mullaney's pass errant, and it's reattained by Healy. Healy sends one. Bragg hits the pads for the save. Into the corner. Carried through the neutral zone. Mullaney dumps that one down. A dump and chase for Warwick. They'll go for a line change. Fresh 5 on the ice and an icing call as LaSalle cleared that one all the way down without any touch. One goal in the first period. The early goal from Drew Bradley, his 6th of the season, has the Rams leading 1-0. Still plenty of hockey to play. Corner off the face-off win for Garfalo. As that one bounced through a couple of different players, coming back for Colin O'Day. O'Day sends that one forward through the neutral zone. Aiden McNally with a tap. McNally sends one, and it's saved by Georgian. Now we'll get the face-off down in the LaSalle zone to the right-hand side. One by Mora. Tried to deflect that one off the side glass. Kept down by Pizzullo for a moment. All the way back, and Bragg will go ahead and freeze that one to the ice. So face-off that will come to Braxton Bragg's right as Peterson skates in. And the face-off instead is won for a moment by Warwick. And then Peterson saw a loose puck and slid it right back into Bragg. We'll go back from whence we came and do it again. 5:45 left to go with penalty boxes empty. As that one got kicked into the back corner of the zone for the Rams. Bouncing puck sent in by the 15 of Martinelli, and Bragg again showing the glove prowess comes up with it in traffic. So we'll go to the left side. This time won by Warwick, and it's carried around. Swept around by O'Day. Was looking to try to get it onto the stick of Barlow. Taken away instead by the 9 of Proteshi. A whistle and a arm up, and it looks like we're going to get a cross-checking call against the Rams as there is a Warwick player prone on the ice. It's the 9 of Richie Kavanaugh that got hit. No, apologies. I checked that. It's the 5 of Colin O'Day. Kavanaugh was picking him up. To the box will go Ronan Peterson. And we'll get a face-off down in the LaSalle zone. Held by Barlow. Fired. Save made by Georgian. Comes back for Pizzullo. Pizzullo back to Barlow in the corner again. Barlow cycles through center. Barlow sent one. And that was right along the ice and slid just wide of the net. Pizzullo kept that one in. Barlow fired one again. Georgian comes up with two huge saves. On the doorstep was Gerard Schifino looking for the slam dunk. .450 remaining in the period, 1:29 remaining in the power play. And a face-off again to the right. Left corner on your broadcast screen, right of the goaltender. Bradley, dispossessed by Barlow. Behind his own net, he'll skate out with this one. Through center ice on his own as he overlaps Richie Kavanaugh. Barlow to the corner, now back for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh tried to send that one bouncing through traffic, and it got a stick of Gerard Schifino, and then a piece of Georgian's pads. Pizzullo will chase it all the way back for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh behind his own net. 48 seconds remaining in the advantage. This one will come all the way down. And icing will get called. Line change opportunity for the Rams as they still have 43 seconds to kill. Face-off that's won by Warwick. Grosketh trying to dance with it out of the zone. Finally does, and he gets it free for Heeman. Around the back side of the boards, left it sitting there, picked back up by Brady Martin. Up top for Grosketh. Back to Martin once again as they're pinned along that left side boards. That one hit off of Grosketh's boots and ended up back across the blue line. Would have had to backtrack with it, otherwise there would have been an offsides call. Mulaney hit hard into the boards there by Protasci. That is a broken stick and then some from Mark Protasci. Comes back across and sacrificing the body was the 5 of Devin Mora to stop that attempt from Shafino. Across again, and Brady Martin with an attempt, and that caught a piece of Georgian's gloves. In the corner for Haymond. Haymond tries to go again. Can't get to it. Instead, it wraps around. Mora will sweep that one all the way down. Icing is called as the boxes are empty and we are playing 5-a-side. That is an absolutely broken stick. You can saw it off right where it broke, put a butt on it, and give it to a little kid, and it might actually fit for him. As for Mark Protasci playing with that one any further, I'm not sure. They do insane things now with these composite sticks of being able to fuse them back together in crazy ways. We've seen some of the stick repair work, so it is possible it might be able to be repaired, but we shall see at a later date. 2.5 left to go in the first. We'll get a short, 2-minute break at the end of this first period, and then we'll play the second. Then they'll do the full intermission in between the second and third. And we'll get a fresh sheet of ice for the third period. Still standing, the Drew Bradley goal back in the first 2 minutes of this game, about 1:30 in. As this one's brought down into the offensive zone, and a save by Bragg on the attempt from Tasca. Came all the way back in the neutral zone. Pushed back by Martinelli. Shepherded by Bragg behind his own net. He left it there for Chris Shafino. Here's a race. Trying to toe drag. Still dragging. And taken out of the play was Barlow. What's the call going to be? Are they just going to say net off of the moorings and it's a save by Georgian? Yeah. Or the face-off coming outside of the blue line because Barlow was the one to make contact to knock the net off the moorings. Difficult play there. Barlow was in. Just lost the edge. Shafino around the back side, caught up in the boots of the linesman. And it comes back as an opportunity for the Rams. That one's deflected up off of the back glass after the attempt came from Barbosa. Barbosa drops that one back down along the side boards, looking there to get a little help from his friends in the 23 of Jordan McIntyre. McIntyre might be the one player on this team next to Marabello and Tyler Garofalo, who actually are the closest in location to where we're currently playing this game. Marabello from Cranston, Rhode Island, McIntyre, Cranston, Rhode Island, Tyler Garofalo, West Warwick, and we are in Warwick, in between West Warwick and Cranston. A drag from Grosketh, couldn't get it past the Rams defense, and that one snakes down. Bragg holds it in the final 30 seconds to go of the first period of play. A little pop of the puck from Shapino as he tried to get that one across to the blue line. Drops down for Grosketh. Mishandled right at the line, comes back. And a dispossession play is trying to wind for a shot with Seamus Murphy. Georgian's going to have to go ahead and make a save as Grosketh was breathing down right on his neck after Sean Mulaney took it the length. 4 seconds officially showing. This will be a drop of the puck, a couple of kick arounds of the sticks, and we'll reach the end of the first period. They drop the pucks, kick it around, and one shot back to the blue line. The horn sounds, and we're through one period of play. 1-0 Rams after one on the Drew Bradley goal. A minute and a half into the game is where we stand. We'll take the quick commercial break. You're watching Rhode Island High School Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network.
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, 4! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
Rhode Island High School Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network, brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by our elite recruits with access to 30,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of rreliterecruits.com. And thanks to our other sponsors of Fans Only Sports Network as well. As we're underway in the second period of play, 1-0 Rams on the goal from Drew Bradley back 90 seconds into the first period of play. Sideboards Peterson as he works that one in the corner. Peterson getting bothered left and right. He has the 3 of Charlie Clements on one side of him and the 11 of Lucas Hammond on the other side. Came back for Peterson in the center and one off of Bragg's pads. And it's looped back up by the 7 of Bradley. Whistle, and we're going to get a penalty. It's going to be Gerard Shapino to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. This did not work well for Warwick last time. A minute into the game, and it developed the Drew Bradley goal, and that time Bragg just absolutely snared it. Martinelli from the blue line tried to snipe. Comes back for Ferteshi. Peterson to Martinelli, back to Ferteshi through the center. Bragg kicked that one away. Martinelli Cycles across, this time looking for Garofalo. That one hit the 12 of Sean Mulaney and popped up into the air. Fratelli. Mulaney dispossessed. Holding call not called by the referees. Coming through with it in the middle. Bragg shuts the door on the attempt that came from Garofalo. And no holding called by the referees there. As Mulaney's stick got all sorts of tied up. .115 left to go in the advantage. That one's going to pop over top of Fratelli's stick and race all the way down. Getting there first, though, is Barlow. Ryan Barlow tried to get a shorthanded attempt. Instead, it's taken away and moved back through by Fratelli. Trying to stuff one from the backside was Bradley. Left it sitting there on the edge of the net. Comes back for Garofalo. Cross for Fratelli, and then back once again. And a shot and a score! On a rifle right to the center from Tyler Garofalo, his second of the season. And another power play goal for the Rams. Well, the Rams have not scored an even strength goal yet in this game, despite they lead by 2-0. Both their goals have come on power plays. Outside of the power play, Warwick has held them completely scoreless. And in fact, has actually held them to only 7 shots in regular play. As this one's trying to be worked down the side boards. Rennie Healy back in the center. As it scoots across the blue line, it'll be shepherded by Bogosian. Chris Schifino works in the corner with the 4 of Ethan Pizzullo. Aiden McNally. A little backhand pitch by Jacob Pickering. Clears it down enough that Warwick gets a line change. That's going to go off the side boards, and icing will get called. Smartly turning away from that was Chris Schifino to allow it to go down without a touch. One other game in action on Fans Only Sports Network right now is Moses Brown against Cumberland from Meehan Auditorium at Brown University. And the final games of the evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Burville Barrington from Levy Ice Rink. And then we'll close it off with a nightcap here from Thayer, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as the Bishop Hendrick Hawks take on the East Greenwich Avengers. But where we stand, 11:43 left to go here in the second, and 2-0 on 2 power play goals by the Rams. Drew Bradley in the first, Tyler Garofalo in the second. As this one bounces back for Heeman. Lucas Heeman sends that one all the way down. Marabello. Our apologies, I checked that as Marabello stayed to the opposite side. Thought he was going to come across for it. Seamus Murphy came down the line and picked it up instead. Martinelli. Hard shot as Bragg makes the save. After the attempt came across from Garofalo, trying to look for his second of the game. Along the blue line. Right through the center. Peterson looking for an opportunity. Streaking with it the other way instead is Barlow. Barlow has to pull back. Barlow got run into the boards by Martinelli. Needing a little bit of help as it pops all the way back out. Bradley along the boards near side of the bench. Bradley sends that one all the way back down. will be picked up by Shafino. Run into the boards. Sends the puck across. Nobody there. So it gets picked up instead by McIntyre for the Rams. Blue line in front of the Warwick bench. Trying to dance with it was Bradley. Got it forward for the aid of Peterson. Instead, it's dispossessed and taken out of the zone by Pizzulo. Back and forth goes the puck here in the mid-stage of the second period, as it's now pinned along the boards by Tasca. In front, and Bragg will just go ahead and collapse his pads on that one for a stoppage of play. Faceoff will come to Braxton Bragg's right. Hard shot, bouncing puck, score! Not sure who got a final touch on it. May very well have been the 5 of Devin Mora. Lieutenant Burton Tomka right there in the mix as well. And we'll have to hear who they give this one officially to. Burton Tomka may have just picked up his second of the season. One way or another, it's going to be 3-0 Rams. They give it to Bowden Tomka. So Matt Franco and Robert Natali end up getting the assist. Bowden Tomka, the goal. We'll give kudos to Devin Mora on that play. It was a collision, a crash the net play. Everybody had a piece of it. And it was Bowden Tomka that finally put it across the line. Martinelli picks this one up behind his own net. As it bounced off of the backside boards again, Warwick tried to dump it down, looking for a line change opportunity. 8 and change left to go here in the second. Vinny Healy. All the way across, was reaching for Matt Baxter. Baxter has it. Baxter taken down, no arm up from the officials. And it'll be shepherded out of the zone by Kennedy. Looking forward for Martin. And that one went wide. Barbosa. Hard shot went into the body of O'Day. Cycles it around for the corner. Comes back for him off of Bragg's helmet. And they'll go ahead and call that one dead for player safety. Warwick on this ice a week ago beat Bishop Hendricken 5-2. And it catapulted Warwick up into a tie in the top of the table and into the conversation as being one of the potentially better teams in Division I this season. They knew coming into this game they were going to have a tough task against a team that has really kind of set themselves as being or looking to be the number one team in the division. And halfway through the game has shown themselves to be standard. 2 power play goals, 1 in regular play for a 3-0 lead. So the standard right now is the LaSalle Rams, and everyone else is hoping to try to figure out how to beat them. As that one goes across for Barlow, could not do anything there. That's tapped away defensively by Murphy. Down into the backside board, Shapino picks that one up, carries around. nowhere to go, was on the opposite side. Was standing the 18 of Connor Pacheco. LaSalle working through the neutral zone. Warwick trying to dispossess and craftfully move this one, stretching the LaSalle defense. Kavanaugh, as he pushed that one, dispossessed again by Pacheco. Another shot and another save from Bragg as Murphy tried to snipe it in. .6:45 left to go here in the second. Tonight's second period is brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit Joseph Lammy, LAMY.com, and by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com. Martinelli for Garpalo. Behind the net, Peterson will carry it over to the sideboards. Bring it back up to the top of the zone. Dropped for Bradley. Comes across, fired, saved by Bragg, is on the doorstep. And falling away was the 20 of Cam Tasca. Line changes for both sides, though minor for LaSalle. As it's shepherded along the backside boards by Clements, looking for some help from Schifino. Gets a little bit of it as it pushes back out to the blue line. It's kept in the zone, however, by Martinelli. As Warwick picks that one up. Clements with an opportunity. And he had that one slide past. In the deep corner, Charlie Clements will take the shepherd. Comes around right back out in front as it was fired on by Hammond. And then sat in the middle of some LaSalle traffic. Tasca off of Bragg's blocker pad and up into the netting, and a stoppage of play. Can't say waffle board too often anymore because not a single goaltender's blocker pad looks like a waffle board. Though if you go back in the early to mid 80s and even into some of the 90s, you'll see the old brown pads that used to have the holes in them, or these circles that looked like holes that were supposed to create a little bit of aeration, and it made it look like a waffle, and since the name waffle board, as that one will be offside. Little organ music from the scorer's box controlling the music, giving the hockey game atmosphere to Thayer Arena. Plenty of hockey that gets played in this building. Thayer Arena, home to Warwick Co-op for both the boys and girls sides, to the Bishop Hendricken Hawks boys team. Hendricken, of course, a boys only school. And also home to HC Rhode Island, the brand new Eastern Hockey League juniors team, and their inaugural season. And we'll see them in about 2 weeks' time for a couple of homestand games, as we've been privileged to help backline HC Rhode Island's inaugural season for Hockey TV. Pickering got tied up with Healy, came back for the 12 of Mulaney, tried to take an attempt. That one hit a lot of traffic. Vinny Healy As he battles for that one, gets it up over the top of the stick of Barbosa and all the way down into the corner. Shuffled all the way back where it's picked up by Devin Mora. Mora off of the side boards, and it's sent back across. Carried by Matt Baxter. Baxter fired one, ran up the backside of a Warwick defender, probably the 4 of Ethan Pizzula. He was the center post player. Healy gets pinned onto the boards by Pickering. Will scoot back for Garfalo. Drew Bradley, Tyler Garfalo, Bowden Tomka, the 3 goal scorers on the game for the Rams. And offside will bring the puck outside of the blue line. Three and change separating us from the break. Garfalo in the corner. Martinelli. To be moved by Marabello for Murphy. Seamus Murphy attempted to be run into the boards by Gerard Shapino. Doesn't work. But Daniel Kennedy comes away with it. Kennedy kicks that one forward. No icing called, no offsides called. We continue play. Shapino on the opposite side corner. And then moved along instead for Marabello. Marabello came across, was looking for Pacheco through the middle, and instead it ran into the boots of Hammond. 2 and change left to go here in the second. Rams have stretched their lead out by 2 as they led 1-0 at the end of the first. 3-0 now here with 2 and change. They're showing 2:33 officially on the scoreboard, so we'll move ours to match. The adventures of scoreboard control in high school ice hockey. We're not connected to the scoreboard in any way, shape, or form. We run ours independently in the production. So sometimes our trigger fingers might be faster than theirs, or vice versa. That one's going to go wide as it's sort of dumped in from Bogosian back at the blue line. Off of the backside boards, trying to get it sent around. Calling for it as McIntyre fired it, and instead it lands on Clements. Georgian comes all the way out and luckily hit that one off of the glass, because if it hit the net, it would have been a delay of game. Tasca. That was the first time that Warwick has ultimately broken the back line of LaSalle and had a one-on-one opportunity. Off the backside boards, Pizzullo picks this one up. Pizzullo ran into a wall, or more notably, ran into the back of the 24 of Matt Franco. Bragg stretches out and kicks one away as it hit through on a bunch of players from LaSalle and Warwick, all crashed in front of the net. Final 1 and change to go here in this second period. That one got slotted across as it was Perteschi looking for the 11 of Robert Natali. Chris Shapino on the backside boards. Sandwich between Shapino and Grosketh, and down to the ice goes Natali, and then Natali trying to whack away Grosketh's stick. And the arm goes up, and who are we going to get a penalty on? They're going to call the interference on Robbie Natali for whacking away Grosketh's stick, because Grosketh was trying to play the puck at the time his stick got taken away. So power play opportunity for Warwick with 36 seconds left to go. Charlie Clements may try to draw this one. And now they're going to have a conversation about being well too far inside the circle prior to the face-off. How many times we see that one get discussed. Back to Pizzullo. Comes across, taken away instead by Bradley. Drew Bradley wide. Bradley was looking for a shorty. Getting thrown into the sideboards was Barlow. Comes back again for Bradley. In the final 10 seconds, he'll flick that one down into the corner. Shafino will pick it up and carry it behind his net. Tapped for Barlow. The horn will sound, and we've reached the intermission. Through 2 as the Rams stretched their lead by 2. And it's 3-0 after the second. We'll take the intermission and be back after they resurface the ice. You're watching Rhode Island High School Ice Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network.
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post,
Right kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Three 0 LaSalle to start the third period of play here on Fans Only Sports Network. We thank you so much for tuning in wherever you might be. Tonight's third period is brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com, and by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com as Georgian lays a cross on that one, and we'll stop the Warwick power play. 57 seconds remaining as we start this third period of play. 16-19 in the shots on goal. LaSalle leading, oh, of an irony, by 3, and they lead 3-0 in the game. An attempt from Barlow, hit into traffic. Drew Bradley sends that one down. Bradley, Tyler Garfalo, Bowden Tomka. 1, 2, 3. And that's the 3 goals on the board for the Rams. 2 of them on power plays as this one is moved across by Shapino. Shapino as he wraps around the backside looking for Charlie Clements. Clements really nowhere to go as he's immediately tied up by Proteshi, and this one comes all the way back for the Rams. Vinny Healy running down. Healy sends one off of the shoulder of Bragg as it cycles back around, and Bragg will freeze it to the blue paint, and we will get a stoppage of play. Mount St. Charles, North Kingstown, the early game. That game is completed. We'll get a score update for you there. We are standing 3-0 in the third. Moses Brown Cumberland also underway. They're playing at Meehan Auditorium at Brown University tonight. And just about to face off, or just has faced off, Burrville and Barrington from Levy Ice Rink. And then the nightcap here will be the final game of the evening as the Bishop Hendricken Hawks take on the East Greenwich Avengers. That one pinned up along the side boards. Hand pass is called. We'll get a face-off outside the zone. A slate of games tomorrow as well, including these LaSalle Rams at home at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink against the Bishop Hendricken Hawks. Yes, we know they just played about 2 weeks ago. That was a non-league game. It was the Ed Walsh Memorial Cup game. This one will count to the standings, and Hendricken will look to stamp on top of their bragging rights from the other one to take one over top of LaSalle and see if they can cement themselves back up into top place and down on the ice after a huge hit. And you could hear a clunk of either face masks or helmets in the midst of all of that is the 19 of Cooper Grosketh. And he is not too happy coming off of the ice. But he'll take a seat on the bench, get a chat with the trainer, and they'll have a face-off just outside the blue line. One by the Rams. That one's moved along the outside boards. Garofalo sent it all the way down. Braga to shepherd it aside. Into the corner and worked around behind him by Peterson. Peterson running to the boards by Pizzullo. Back to the blue line, worked across carefully by Martinelli. As it's horseshoed across by Garofalo, comes back up on the out corner. Pizzullo. No defensive move there for the Rams, as right back through the center was Bradley, as he took an attempt that was ending up into the body of the 25 of Chris Shapino. And a whistle and a stoppage of play on an offside. $20 left to go here in regulation. As this one will bounce along the backside boards, picked craftily by Proteshi. Proteshi sends that one to the corner. Comes right back out through center for Seamus Murphy. Murphy run into hard by Heyman, and then continues on forward instead. But he loses puck. Barlow through center. Barlow bodied out at the blue line. Will go back and be moved by Mulaney. Mulaney sends that one all the way down. Trying to switch out as Warwick didn't work. Looking to stretch the Rams defense, and they're getting caught back in the neutral zone. Forward for Barlow, nobody there with him as he's bodied out of the play by Bogosian. Backside corner and then sent around as it's moved by Marabello. Dump and chase. Warwick will use it to change lines. Murphy. all the way down, and icing will get called this time. We'll get a stoppage of play. 10:55 left to go. Moses Brown Cumberland underway. Bishop Hendricken EG to come up as we take a look at games. And Rhode Island High School Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network, brought to you by Joseph Lamey, Attorney at Law, and by our elite recruits. And that time getting sent to the box for cross-checking. I believe the 26th of Evan Barbosa. So Warwick picks up a power play opportunity here, 10:45. As a referee this time, having a chat with Charlie Clements and Richie Kavanaugh. Garfalo gets to it first, tries to fire that one all the way around. Caught by Clements and then fired by Kavanaugh. And that one may have gotten a piece of Georgian, and it went, of course, just wide. Comes right back out across Barlow, an opportunity. That one just wide. Barlow's calling for it again on the opposite corner. It'll cycle around behind the net. Shapino was trying to poke it the rest of the way through to get to Barlow. Clements for Shapino, and that one will get sent all the way down by Garofalo. Bragg will shepherd it for Ethan Pizzullo. Pizzullo, nowhere to move. Now finally is able to slot that one forward for Kavanaugh. Shapino tried to dangle it into the neutral zone area and carry through, and on the opposite side blue line, he was poked away by the 9 of Proteshi. Losing an edge and going down back at the blue line was Pizzullo. As Warwick tries to work with it in the corner, opportunity, still loose puck, still poking at it, as getting dumped down inside of the paint was Kavanaugh. And that one will come all the way back to the neutral zone for Pizzullo. 30 seconds remaining in the advantage. They've got 9. That's an offside. And they'll have to negate that one finally by kicking it out of the zone, and everybody checks back. Too far for the outstretched stick of Kavanaugh, and icing will be called. University of Rhode Island men's ice hockey back in action tonight as they have a 2-game set against the Buffalo Bulls. It's 2-1 URI after 2. Tim Duffy on the call from Boss Ice Arena here on Fans Only Sports Network, the home of University of Rhode Island, Bryant University, and the Providence College men's and women's club ice hockey teams. You can always check Fans Only Sports at fansonlysprtz.com for more information on high school and college hockey broadcasts. And as always, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever social medias you have at FOSPORTZ for all things hockey. Instagram at ri.hockey. Pretty sure there'll be at least a highlight from this game on the RI Hockey Instagram, if there isn't already. Our social media team is pretty snappy at following the games as they go on through the evening and getting those goalposts up. And we don't mean goalposts as in football goalposts, we mean a goalpost. Quick English. Ethan Pizzullo into the backside corner. Tried to send that one forward. Landed instead onto the stick of Murphy. Taken away by the other 19 in Cooper Grosketh. LaSalle goes back and then back into the offensive zone as Cam Taska, my apologies. It's the 10 of Bowden Tomka who took the shot from the corner. Tomka, one of the 3 goal scorers for the Rams. 7 and change left to go here as we're halfway through this third period of play. Going to put our backs to the wall for game number 2 as we crossed 8:45 p.m. As this one will bounce across the zone. Brady Martin tried to get it, could not. Ronan Peterson instead. Peterson for the Rams to Tasca. Cross for Bradley. Deflected up off of the side board. Looking there for Prateshi. Carries that one down into the corner. It'll get chased by Shapino. That's Chris Shapino as he tries to work with it. Tasca came away with it. For the 23 of Jordan McIntyre, tied up there with Martin. Slides all the way back into the zone. LaSalle goes for a line change, so too does Warwick. Back in the neutral zone. Tasca will tap it back. Collected instead and moved by Shapino. Cycled around for McIntyre. Picked up by Barlow. Barlow through traffic. Nowhere to go for him but the corner, and then down to the ice as he collided awkwardly with his own teammate and Richie Kavanaugh. The two of them back up and back into the play as it's carried by Bradley. Bradley bumped by the opposite number 7 of George Shapino, and this one gets cycled around. 5 and change left to go. As this one's carried off into the corner. Shot from Tasca, popped up by Braghead, right back down! And they're going to say no goal. They're going to say high stick. So instead it'll end up being face-off down in the Rams zone. .520 left to go. It'll stay 3-0 as the goal was negated, played by a high stick. Grosketh dispossessed by Healy. Vinny Healy will cycle around the backside of his net with this one. Back into the neutral zone, pushed back by Chris Shapino. For Martinelli in the corner. Martinelli sends that one back. And a hard shot that was kicked away by Bragg as it came from the corner from Garofalo. Getting tripped down, no call from the referees, was the 12 of Mulaney. Picked up by Garofalo. Worked across the neutral zone. Carried there by Baxter. Baxter sends that one, and it gets bounced back by the Warwick defense. Baxter picked it back up again with space. Baxter fires. Bragg makes the save. Came right back onto the stick of Barbosa, and he fires wide. 4 left to go here in regulation. Pizzullo. A drag from Kennedy. Gets across the blue line. Devin Mora trying to dispossess defensively. He comes away with it. And it's carried in through the neutral zone for a moment by Barbosa. before he dumped it off and they go for a line change. Another loose twig on the ice. Not looking too broken, but still laying there. As it goes to the end boards from the 11 of Lucas Hemond. Just standing around in the middle of the circle there, not being picked up by the man in stripes. Trying to look and see if he can find it is Georgian. The puck is still somewhere as he's lost his glove. And finally, it's taken out of the zone with a bit of a head of steam by Michael Marabello. Getting run into the backside boards hard was Hemond. And the arm for the referee goes up immediately. Michael Marabello will go to the box. 2 minutes for interference with 2:56 left to go. So he will spend most of the remainder of this game in the box. And Warwick will call timeout. We'll take the timeout as well. You're watching Rhode Island High School Ice Hockey on Fans Only Sports Network.
Game On mouthguards. Game On mouthguards have superior shock absorbency, are impervious to viruses and bacteria, and also is the only mouthpiece ever to earn the American Dental Association's seal of acceptance.
Back here at Thayer Arena in Warwick, Rhode Island. LaSalle 3, Warwick 0, 2:56 left to go. And a 2-minute power play coming up for Warwick. Drew Bradley, Tyler Garofalo, Bowden Tomka. Bradley in the first, Tomka and Garofalo in the second. And 3-0 for the Rams. A chance to put themselves on the top of the pile, sole possession of first place in Division I. They have first place in the Fans Only Sports Network power rankings. They want first place in the division, which means more. That one will go off of the sideboards and all the way down. Pizzula will pick it up. Cross for Barlow. Barlow will streak through. Dragging one, spinning, and getting run off of the play by Bradley. Set behind the net and then pushed up over top of Pizzullo as it was a little too hardly sent from Kavanaugh. Shafino as he carries through. Shafino spun into the corner. And a rugby scrum occurs in the corner. Comes back for Pizzullo at the blue line. Slotted all the way across. Barlow fired one. And Georgian makes the save. $50 remaining in the men advantage. 1:45 left to go here. That one will get swept all the way down, and that will certainly burn some time off of the penalty. $30 left to go as this one will get sent all the way back down again. Shepherded by Bragg. Comes across for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh will get run into on the sideboards. Kavanaugh goes down. Pops back up, tries to continue control of it for Charlie Clements. And the Rams defense will just poke it all the way back down. No real need for them to chase against this one. They'll just shepherd things to the finish line. In 4 seconds, the penalty will expire. 2-1, and it does. And we're back to 5 aside for the final 50 seconds. In front as that one is kicked away, and that will be icing. So we'll get a stoppage of play. And they'll bring it all the way back down in front of the Rams net with 45 to go. Coming up shortly following the conclusion of this game, Game 2 of our doubleheader from Thayer as the Bishop Hendricken Hawks take on the East Greenwich Avengers. That'll be the last game of the evening in the state of Rhode Island for high school ice hockey. We have the latest face-off to go. Tasca and Bradley. Picked by Haymond. Around the boards in the final 30. Dispossessed from him. Sent right back out in front. LaSalle was trying to go for another one on the stick of Bradley. Carried out instead by Grosketh. Grosketh to the corner with 18 left to go. Dispossessed. Tasca sends that one across for Bradley. Bradley will carry it into the zone. Bradley took a shot and he was dispossessed by Shapino instead. Shapino into the corner boards. Pushed there by the aid of Peterson. It'll pop back in front of the Warwick bench and the horn will sound. LaSalle knew that they had to take care of business against a tough team and one of the top teams in Division I. They do it. A goal from Drew Bradley 90 seconds into the game started them off. Tyler Garofalo, Bowden Tomka added insurance policies, and the Rams pick up a 3-0 victory over Warwick. That'll do it for us here on Game 1 of the day from Thayer Arena. We'll be back in a brief period of time for Game number 2. Bishop Hendricken Hawks take on the East Greenwich Avengers. If you've got a high school home ice pass and you want to watch that game, pop on over. We'll be there shortly. For those of you who joined us on a single game pass for LaSalle and Warwick, we thank you so much for tuning in this evening on Fans Only Sports Network. For Elena Coffee, that's all of us at Fans Only Sports here at Thayer Arena. Have a great night.